delicious debate. Zach Lang wrote a great piece the other day, throwing out some numbers and also grabbing some of the quotes of what Stan Bowman had to say about the Oilers' lack of production from some of their forwards, namely Hyman, Nuge, Arvidsson, and Skinner. I want to know, any of those four actually concern you at the quarter-way mark? Are you actually worried about the long-term success of any of those four forwards in Edmonton?
I am. Victor Arvidsson. Not because he hasn't scored. I don't know what's going on with his body. He's been day-to-day for 2 weeks now.
We don't know what Hyman's issue is either, do we?
No, undisclosed.
So what happened to Hyman?
I didn't either. They showed a thing on the broadcast because he left in the second intermission of the game against the Senators.
That was right, yeah.
They showed him getting hit, but it was such a nothing hit that I can't imagine that was actually what happened. It had to be something else.
Do we not have to lower body, upper body, right thumb? Yeah.
Arvidsson is lower body.
Okay.
Which could mean whatever.
Yeah, because when I first saw it was like, well, he's on a maintenance day. I was like, okay, that's fine. But then the next sentence was, he's 50-50 to play.
Yep.
Hold the phone here. I don't think those two things go together.
So I wrote about Arvidsson specifically being a 50-50 to play, and that was before the Nashville game. So that article would have come out 2 Wednesdays ago. Yeah, 2 Wednesdays ago. So it's almost 2 weeks that he's been quote unquote 50-50 to play.
Yeah.
And then he was on the road trip where they went to Toronto, Montreal, and Ottawa. Obviously didn't play. Knobloch said that if it was a playoff game, he would play.
I like that.
But he is still day to day and just got extended 5 to 8 days.
Hasn't been a playoff game yet.
Not playing this weekend, but they're both supposedly going to be on the trip. And then it ends Tuesday in Vegas. And I don't know if they've said anything about the Vegas game, but the weekend games are a no-go. So we're going to see some guys who probably just left.
I just didn't like that on Monday. They were already written off for the weekend when they were supposed to be day to day.
I don't mind that, but tell me what the hell the issue is.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's fine. You know what? They're not playing. Cool. I'm not even going to have to worry about it. Let me know what's going on here. You got tonsillitis, you bang your toe.
Well,
what are we dealing with?
Specifically, he has back issues. Like if this is going to be a back
lower body,
huh?
That's not lower body. We might be winning one here.
Middle body. What is upper body? What is lower body? Lower back?
What if you're all legs?
What if
then your upper is part of your lower. You know?
I think we're going from the waist. I'm going. My thought process is, the belt on your pants. Anything under that, lower. Anything above it, upper.
I'm a suspenders guy. All lower body.
Ooh.
I agree that Arvidsson is concerning, but when Arvidsson was in the lineup, I liked him next to Leon Draisaitl. The production wasn't maybe quite there, but I think they were doing things well.
Finding their way.
Jeff Skinner is the one to me that's concerning because it's like, if he's not going to be next to Connor McDavid or Leon Draisaitl, what's he going to do here? And even more so, what's he going to do when Evander Kane comes back? And all of a sudden there's more competition on the left side and more guys that we know the coach actually likes. It feels like Knobloch doesn't like him.
Well, and so I tie, like, Skinner's struggling for sure. But like you said, if he's not going to contribute at 5-on-5 playing on a skill line, what does he do? Like Nuge also struggling mightily, but at least he's out there killing
That
penalties.
dude needs a break. I think that guy needs a mental break. He is out there for every important second.
Yep.
5-on-5, 5-on-4, 4-on-5, 4-on-3, everything out there. Every single situation. Mm-hmm. That dude is within the first to second group out.
Yep.
So that guy needs a bit of a rest because I think mentally that.
Also on a human level, fresh baby at home.
Yeah, like I don't think the 4-Nation Cup can get here fast enough for that poor guy.
Yeah, he needs a break.
Could you then maybe kill two birds with one stone by swapping him and Skinner on the
I would
power
consider
play?
It, yes. I would consider it.
Sure. Yeah.
I would.
Nuge a break. You give Skinner meaningful minutes to try contribute.
Yep.
Yes.
Get his confidence up.
I would in a second.
Yeah.
So you kind of said Arvidsson. I agreed on Arvidsson. I think I'm most concerned about Skinner just because at least Arvidsson has the excuse of injuries. Skinner's just like, bro, the coach might not like you and that's bad. What about you guys?
I think I'm on Nuge a little bit, to be honest. I know you guys just said maybe a mental break could be good for him, but those other guys, I feel like have built-in excuses almost of like they're on a new team. Hyman's expected goals is way higher than his actual goal production too. And I just think Nuge, like he's not looked great on the power play. He's had a couple of moments where he's hit the post and everything like that, but like, he has 2 goals this season.
But would you not agree that there was, I'm not disagreeing with you, by the way, but would you not agree that like there was a 4-game run where he hit the post, Lankenham stopped him on the goal line. Like he also just needs a break, a lucky bounce.
Didn't he just get his lucky bounce in that win over Ottawa?
To me, that was a hardworking goal. He was driving to the net, got a good stick on it.
Maybe, yeah, but
because it was like Hyman when he scored off the stanchion there. I thought that was going to kick something off for him, and it didn't quite get there.
Oh, against Vegas, but then he had just got one the game before in a similar situation where it was like 5-1 against Nashville or whatever. I just think maybe our expectations for Nuge are higher.
They should be though.
They definitely should be, and I just don't think we've seen it from him.
He's not playing where he needs to be.
No, and for a guy that's
and frankly, none of these guys we're talking about are.
No, definitely not.
But that's why I'm not worried about Nuge, because he can still handle 5-on-5. He's still there doing PK stuff. He's doing a lot of other things away from the offense. Arvidsson, if he could play right now, then I'm not too worried about it. We're giving him more time for it. Cool. I think that line with him, Leon, and Podkolzin, it's going to take some time, but there was something there, right? It's going to take some time to figure out those one-touch passes and that type of communication you need from a top line. But I'm with Tyler on this one. Skinner seems very one-dimensional. Like if he was supposed to be that one-shot scorer, and he's not really doing that. I know the very first game of the year, I thought he was a bit of a perimeter guy. And then the next couple games, he seemed to get his nose in there. I was like, okay, whatever, that I got it quick here. But if he's not doing that, if he's not scoring, he's not producing, he's not going to get out there and get physical and grind enough. Coach obviously does not like what he's seeing out of him so far. You bring back Kane, you start thinking about bringing guys up. I think Skinner gets pushed to the lineup relatively quickly.
So what's confusing a little bit is like their usage of them. Because when you look, individual scoring chances per 60 at 5-on-5, only Connor McDavid produces at a better clip. Individual shots per 60 at 5-on-5, nobody is producing at a better clip. And it's not even particularly close, the gap between him and second place. Like, I don't know. I feel rebounds created. Like, again, he gets pucks through. He's making stuff happen, but they're not using him in the right way. Like, it's confusing why they won't just use him or
put him in the top 6 and staple him in there as you filter things around and juggle. He just stays in there.
But like Vasily Podkolzin, we all saw the good things he was doing, right? Mm-hmm. Didn't score, but they just stuck with him and were like, stay there. They were willing to, again, he was good defensively and doing a lot of good things right. He was awful offensively, but they were like, hey, let's see it through here. With Skinner, why are they so hesitant to do the inverse?
Do you see a big difference in their forechecking abilities?
Yeah, I do.
Because playing physical is one thing the Oilers definitely need help with. We just could be a bit of a sleepy team sometimes, especially if the offense doesn't get going right away. We can get lost in everybody waiting for someone else to do something. You need a guy out there who just goes and just start banging people.
With Podkolzin, I wonder, I'm guessing, obviously I don't know. I wonder if any of him sticking there is because of old big number 29 beside him, because Podkolzin, even without the goals, has done a very good job of picking up pucks in corners off the forecheck and getting it to Leon.
And that's stuff that I don't think Skinner's been doing. And when you're not doing that, if you're not scoring and you're not helping score, but you've got a guy out there who's not scoring but could help score, I think you go with the guy who not scoring but could help score. And that's what you're getting out of Podkolzin right now.
I also think like a big part of all of these guys for me is just confidence. Like Jeff Skinner scored so many goals in the NHL that now that he's not scoring on a new team where he's got a chance to go to the playoffs for the first time, it's got to be weighing on him as just a person. Same with Nuge, same with Arvidsson.
I don't think it really bothers Nuge that much just because he does so much.
I think it probably does.
It does not to the same extent though. Obviously Skinner
is on pace for 8 goals.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. It's terrible. But I mean, Skinner obviously does one thing. Nuge does almost everything.
And then just to, are we worried about it or not? There's the other angle of, to quote from our boy Bob Stauffer, like Nuge shooting at 4.5%. His career average is around 11. Henrique is at 5.7. He shoots higher than that. There's a lot of guys who are just not anywhere close to their career shooting averages.
Which, again, if a whole bunch of those can start happening at once, it'd be great.
Like Jeff Skinner, he's at 6.6, which is closer to where he generally is, but like it's still not there. It's less than by about half.
A couple of guys are due for some heaters, and Bowman did kind of talk about that too.
Whole team's due for a PDO heater. Like it's crazy that outside of Connor and Leon, nobody's scoring right now. And Bush is starting to pick it up.
You hope that Rangers
Who's
game.
the third? Who's third in the team in 5-on-5 scoring?
Let's do the next question. Who's fourth on the team in 5-on-5 scoring?
I don't know, but I think I heard.
It's Janmark for the record. Jeff Skinner has
Which is a
more
problem.
5-on-5 points. There, he's fourth forward in 5-on-5 points. All these points are at 5-on-5 this season.
I would flip
Can
Skinner
you
and
pull
Nuge
that
on the
up
power
and see
play.
who he's playing with when he gets those points. Is it with Connor? Or is it Leon? Or is he pulling it with like the third line guys?
I don't know what to do.
I would definitely get to get Skinner some confidence and get him shooting and get him feel good. I would swap him and Nuge on the power play. Different look. All of a sudden, because Nuge isn't zipping it from the left side like he used to 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Skinner will.
Yeah. I would do it. You've got 3 games on the road. Why not just give it a shot? Give Nuge a little break. Because I said earlier this year that I think Nuge has he's been doing everything for 3-4 years now. That's got to weigh on you.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm
And
looking.
he's never going to ask. He's never going to say, hey, pull an Anthony Richardson and tap his helmet and say, I need a rest. But,
That's sweet, by the
someone's got to say, hey, man, hang out here for a minute. And
I tried to do that in a meeting earlier. I didn't get out of it.
no?
Now tap my helmet.
So the forward that Jeff Skinner has produced the most points, or the Oilers have gotten the most points on the ice with, it's him and Hyman, and then it's him and Henrique is number 2. Perry and Arvidsson, he also has 2 points when he's on the ice with.
So I would also be curious, how could you workshop a different line for Henrique as well?
Well, that's your line right there.
Who played on the third line last game with Henrique? Because it was Skinner, Henrique,
Because Connor Brown got bumped up to Leon's
and
line.
did well. He had 2 assists in that game.
So the lines for the Oilers.
Perry?
Well, there's forward lines.
Yeah, Mark, of course.
Yeah. Oilers forward lines. Yeah, last game. So it was Nuge, McDavid, Kapanen, Draisaitl put goals in Brown, Henrique, and Mark Skinner. And they actually did pretty good. Outshot the Rangers 6-2. The fourth line got their teeth kicked in, which is insane.
You wanna know
But the third line was really good.
the other fun fact, Adam Henrique is 5th on the team for forwards in 5-on-5. So maybe that line is actually a solution to it.
It might be. And I liked it when I had Connor Brown down there because they used it as just a go, go, go offense line, right?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. You need everyone to be healthy for it to kind of work. But yeah, I don't know. I just think putting Jeff Skinner somewhere where he can succeed a little bit. If he's on the third line with Henrique and Brown long term, and he scores you 16 to 20 goals this year, you're still not happy about spending the
Why not
$3.5
try
million?
Henrique, Skinner, and Hyman.
Oh, put Hyman there.
It says on your chart already that works, right? We know we can find. You can use Kapanen beside with Connor. You can use Connor beside Connor. You've got options. We're only talking for a game or 2. You just want to try and get them a little kick in the butt.
I think you're playing with fire a bit too much there. I think you just got to keep Hyman up the lineup rather than putting him down the lineup to make those guys better. Just get Hyman to play better with McDavid.
Yeah.
Kapanen can probably go on that line and give you some speed.
Or if you go back to 11-7 and you start cycling and you get those guys playing with.
Oh shit, Derek Ryan's not giving you a whole heck of a lot. So
Well, I also this has nothing to do with the top 6 scoring, but it's time.
yeah.
Well, even against the Rangers, wasn't he the only player to take penalties? I think
You got the hooking, that's for
He
sure.
had 2 at least. I think he had a hold or something as well.
There were 5 Oilers who got outshot at 5-on-5 in that hockey game.
Oh.
Derek Ryan, Drake Caggiula, Corey Perry, and then Stetcher and Nurse both got outshot. Nurse was barely, but he did technically get
What
outshot.
was Nurse?
12-10.
Okay.
I think it's time.
Yeah. But
You've got an upgrade.
The problem is apparently Noah Phillips not playing good in Bakersfield.
Dude, I would still roll. I would roll Caggiula first.
11-7.
I don't think Derek Ryan brings that much more than Drake Caggiula. And the areas that Drake brings that Derek Ryan doesn't bring, I think it elevates. He brings speed. He'll get how many times have you seen Derek Ryan piss off a goaltender? Because Jonathan Quick tried to beat the shit out of him. And if it wasn't 6-1 or whatever, he's probably would have dealt with it. But because it was 6-1,
I wonder if when Hyman comes back, that Kapanen just takes his spot on the fourth line.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.